in and out, how we be moving. All gas, no break, yo, we be cruising. You and I do or die, but ain't no losing. In and out, how I be moving. Catch a vibe on the scene, all net. Feel like I'm being all hooks. I feel like Kareem. Dream shake, I feel like Hakeem. I can't believe that I'm living this life.
Often been told about the greatest college football teams of all time. We're talking about the dynamic 2019 LSU offense, the 2022 stifling Alabama team, 1995 Nebraska, or notably the 2001 Miami team, who was so strong that they would have gone 8-4 in their schedule without scoring a single offensive touchdown. But very few people talk about the opposite end of the spectrum, the all-time low. So today, I'm going to take you on a journey through the 3 worst college football teams to ever grace a field. Now, there will be an asterisk, and while this list may feel like it has some recency bias, my true belief is
FOT appreciate you, gang. DWLO is what they call me.
I'm so tired of you with this shit.
Retarded. What's the word, chat? Trey scamming Jarl and the EP. He said he only doing it to fund his underground lean operation.
What are you talking about? I have not made no money from music.
That the wider schools can recruit from in the recent years, the introduction of NIL, and the money disparity between schools in the last 10 years has exacerbated the discrepancy from the best and the worst. And ESPN's Power Ranking Index, which includes a number to describe how bad teams are, will back that up, as the worst teams have slowly and surely been trending to new depths. So without further ado, let me take you to number 3 on this list, 2021 UMass. Now, UMass is a great cautionary tale of when not to make the jump from FCS to FBS. In the late 2000s, they were a perfectly fine FCS school, not dominant by any stretch, but they'd win some games here and there. But they didn't have the infrastructure, money, or desire from the athletic.
When I went to YouTube, I dead ass believe them niggas won like 1 game for real. Them niggas dead ass was trash as fuck.
Director to make them an FBS school. Now, did that stop them from doing it? Absolutely not, as in 2012 they joined the FBS ranks and have enjoyed 13 years in a row of losing seasons, with their best 2 years being 2017 and 2018, where they managed to go 4-8 in back-to-back seasons. But they also hold another special record, which is their 2021 season under head coach Walt Bell. They would transcend not to just be the worst team in college football that year, but one of the worst teams of all time. They opened up their season with a 51-7 loss to Pitt. Now, this Pitt team would go on to be pretty good, so maybe we'll let that one slide. But the following week, they'd get
okay, them going against Pitt 51-7. No cap. Anybody that's been watching college football for a while, you already know, bro, week 1 and damn near week 2, it really be them niggas like hiring squash matches. Like, they be hiring niggas to come up there and get beat the shit out of. This is when you'll see Alabama go against South Alabama. Like, nobody on that team, bro.
Blown out by Boston College 45-20.
Now, some people do it way more respectable though. Like, I would rather somebody play UMass than some of the schools that some of these niggas get away with playing. But some people be really egregious about it. They don't want no competition. They just want to beat the shit out of niggas and pay them to come and get beat the shit out of.
Eastern Michigan would come to them and match that score before they'd have to take on another top 25 team in Coastal Carolina, who would just shove them into the locker for 4 quarters with a final score of 53-3. Then Toledo beat them 45-7, and in the last stand by Massachusetts, they saw their one chance to win a game and took it, taking on UConn, where they had their one and only win of the season.
They lost UConn.
By 2 touchdowns. And while you make think, well, Isaac, if they beat another team, doesn't that then become the worst team of all time? And just hold on to that, because that was UMass's Super Bowl. The following week, they went to Florida State.
Texas beating on HBCUs. First of all, LSU's beating on HBCUs. But I give y'all a pass because y'all going against Southern. Like, it's in the same state. I'm kind of chilling on that, but y'all know good and goddamn well y'all shouldn't be playing no goddamn Southern. Y'all know good and goddamn well y'all shouldn't be playing no Southern, nigga.
and took a 59-3 loss right to the Dome just to hop on another plane to Liberty and take a 62-17 loss right in the face, which appeared to break them, as in spectacular fashion. They were going to stoop to a new low, losing to Rhode Island, an FCS team by 13 points. Then, in a redemption game against Maine, a second FCS team, they would lose by 25.
My favorite college quarterback that I got to watch was Cam Newton. Easily, period, Cam Newton. On top of that, I seen somebody say something on Twitter today, and I retweeted him. Yo, I dead ass hate football dialogue a lot of the times because I don't think it's a controversial take to say that Cam Newton is better than Jalen Hurts. I just don't think that it is. But apparently, it's some people think that it is. Niggas is really stupid. Niggas is dead ass stupid. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I have no slander for Jalen Hurts. I do not. I promise you. I have none. Matter of fact, anybody that's been around here, already know when niggas was calling Hurts ass and try to like act like he was some bum, I was a nigga. I was like, bro, y'all niggas is tripping. Jalen Hurts is not bad. Y'all bugging the fuck out. I do not have no problem with him, but he is not as good as Cam Newton. He's just blessed to be on a better team with more structure and more stability. Niggas is stupid if you think anything else. You're dumb as shit. Cam Newton was throwing the ball to Ted Ginn and Calvin Benjamin. Yeah, he had Steve Smith. He had Steve Smith for a couple years. And he also had Greg Olsen as well. But nigga, that ain't nothing compared to what Jalen Hurts got when it comes down to also his stability with the offensive line. Again, though, I don't want to go too long because I don't want to shit on Jalen Hurts. I honestly think that one of the reasons is people might have started that to try to find another reason to shit on him because why are we comparing him to Cam Newton? Realistically, why? I think that at every turn, niggas try to find a reason to shit on him. And this is just one way that they're trying to do it. But now you got people starting to be like, no, I'm taking Hurts over him. And that makes no sense to me at all.
Points. Mind you, Maine wasn't even a good FCS team that year, finishing the season just 6-5 with their most dominant win of the entire year.
They the same kind of player. Truly, I don't know what the fuck you watching, but I respect you and your fandom.
Being over that FBS team of UMass, making them one of the rare teams to lose to two FCS teams in one season. They ran things out with a 16-point loss to Army, a 17-point loss to New Mexico State to finish off a beautiful 1-11 season. Now, before I get to the top two,
1-11, and look at all the scores, my nigga. Look at the scores. Yo, if you getting beat 44-27 to New Mexico State, you're fucking trash. I ain't never seen New Mexico State be good. You're fucking trash. What? Army whooped their ass, beat them with the option. Lost 35-22 Rhode Island. Y'all, these niggas, this is a horrible team.
I want to shout out one team that I thought would be in this video, and it actually inspired me making the list, and that was 2024 Purdue. I looked through their schedule and I saw their 66-7 loss to Notre Dame, Wisconsin beating them 52-6, Oregon's 35-0 thumping, and the stretch of getting stomped 45-0 by Ohio State, 49-10 by Penn State, and ending their season with a humongous 66-0 loss to Indiana.
I wouldn't put Purdue on this list only because, bro, them niggas, they are cursed to be in a really good conference. And while I think a lot of niggas overlook the conferences when it comes down to ranking somebody at the end of the seasons, they kind of overdo it with the SEC, especially in the Big Ten. But let me tell you what, a 1-10 Big Ten team will smack the shit out of most of these goddamn Conference USA teams, most of these Mountain West teams, most of these FBS, or most of these FCS teams. Like, it's just different.
And I thought,
no excuses. I'm just saying, like, bro, it's low key facts, bro. Bro, when you see these teams that be garbage as fuck in a division go outside of their conference and play, let's not say like the top niggas in the other conference. Play like the middle level niggas that might have solid weapons, like solid records. They get their ass beat. I mean, like, they be beating them other teams.
Thought they were surely one of the worst teams this year,
basketball
if not
schools
of
for sure.
all time. But I guess the fact that they kept it close with a top 25 Illinois and most of their ass kicking.
See, like, look at this. They went up against Indiana State. Who the fuck is Indiana State? But again, though, it kind of does prove my point. They whooped these niggas' ass 49-0. Then, guess what? You start to play notable, recognizable teams. You get beat the fuck up by everybody. Notre Dame, football school, you get beat. Oregon State, they have solid seasons, some ass seasons. You lose. They got shitted on by Notre Dame. Nebraska, football school, shitted on. Wisconsin, football school, shitted on. Illinois, damn, I cannot believe they put up a good game versus Illinois. Illinois, they're kind of a spotty team. They kind of really mid, to be honest. Like, some seasons they'll be ranked, most seasons they not. But, boom, Oregon, you get shitted on. Northwestern, it makes sense y'all compete with them. Them niggas ain't really no goddamn football school for real. That's just a bunch of smart niggas playing football. Nigga, damn, they can go Ivy League if we want to be goddamn honest. All right. Ohio State shit on you. Penn State shit on you. Michigan State is surprising. Close game. Then you get shitted on by Indiana. That's a basketball school. Even though Indiana football been good lately. God damn.
Came from playoff teams, literally the entire top 4 teams in the country, and the national championship alongside the runner-up meant that they had maybe just one of the hardest schedules this year, which gives them grace over the actual
You saying the S in Illinois is rubbing me wrong, nigga. Illinois.
number 2 worst team of all time, 2024 Kent State. Now, their season started off in a similar vein.
Oh, Kent State didn't win the game, right? I remember this team.
And that's with Pitt.
I think watched another video about them or something.
As they would lose that game 55-24. Then, in embarrassing fashion, they had their home opener fluffer of St. Francis fly into them, an FCS school, and beat them 23-17 before they had to become the fluffer going down to Tennessee, where boy howdy did they give them the Rocky Toppy Sloppy as they took
Tennessee
a 71-0 pounding. Before their buttholes even had a chance to close, they were taking a train to Penn Station, where their offense collectively put up 66 yards in the entire game while taking
66 yards for an entire game. What? Yeah, this is crazy. What he said was nuts. 66 yards. Their quarterback had more yards than the entire team.
A 56-0 loss as they completed exactly 2 passes across 13 attempts and could only run for 48 yards. They then had Eastern Michigan beat them 52-33 at home. Ball State, an absolutely struggling team, came into their house to beat them by 2 points in one of Ball State's 2 wins of the season, with the other being against NIU, the same NIU that beat Notre Dame earlier.
This NIU loss was crazy for Notre Dame. Good game to watch, though. But this was nuts.
Maction, baby, just Maction. They then were trounced 27-6 by Bowling Green, 52-21 by Western Michigan, 41-0 by Ohio, not the Ohio State, just Ohio, then 34-7 by Miami.
Oh, Rashawn Logs? What's going on? Where's Rashawn even at right now? Let me check this score. I am a ghost. What Rashawn said. I know you see me. Did you record for the main? Rashawn, I did not. But I got you though. I got you dead ass. Tomorrow NCAA drops. We're gonna have to do something on stream tomorrow for some main channel shit too. Tomorrow gonna be heavy NCAA. I got something though. I had an idea. I just didn't stream it. But I got an idea.
Ohio, 38-17 by Akron, 43-7 by Buffalo, and on top of just how bad the scores were, they were also pretty much only putting up their points in garbage time, meaning that when you actually watch these games, it felt so much worse than the score would imply. But if going 0-12 and losing to an FCS team at home and having back-to-back weeks where you lose 71-0 and 56-0 isn't enough to get you the title of the worst college football team
I promise
ever, then what will get you that title? And I'm glad you asked, but before I get to another one, I actually have another honorable mention, and that's 2020 UMass. You see, this is technically the second lowest.
Come on, man, you beating the shit out of UMass,
but
man.
with a massive asterisk of that it was a COVID year. They only played 4 games, and it was probably riddled with opt-outs, sit-outs, and guys being held out for quarantine. But across those 4 games, they only scored 12 points, got shut out twice by Georgia Southern in a 41-0 brutality, and a 45-0 6-0 thumping by Liberty. They then lost to Marshall 51-10, with their last loss coming in a 24-2 beating by powerhouse FAU. It doesn't help that they didn't play a game until mid-October, then not again until November 7th, 3 weeks after, then had to wait 2 weeks before playing their only back-to-back games, meaning they really had a wacky, disorienting schedule, so I couldn't in good faith put them this far down. But the team that I can put this far down was the UMass team from the year prior, the legendary 2019 UMass team. Now, as you can imagine, they had a bad record, but we'll start off with their Week 5 win against Akron, who went entirely defeated and would make you think that they should be the worst team this year. But when you looked at the fact that they tied with Akron for weakness of strength and schedule, and just how much worse almost all of UMass's losses were, it really sets them apart as being one of the worst teams of all time. Just with that tiny little asterisk that they probably beat the 4th worst team of all time. But for their losses, they went and lost by 27 points to Rutgers, 25 points to Southern Illinois, an FCS team, 35 points to Charlotte, 34 points to Coastal Carolina, 44 points to FIU, 48 points to La Tech, 21 to UConn, 42 to Liberty, 56 to Army.
Yeah, these niggas suck, because, like, listen to the teams they're losing to and getting beat like this by.
39 to Northwestern, and to end it off, how about a nice 32-point loss to BYU? So not
BYU very respectable.
Only did they average losing a little over 36 points per game, but they also allowed opposing offenses to score over 40 points every single game, save the one game that they actually won, and went on an impressive stretch of 7 out of 11 games allowing 50 or more points, and had a whopping 4 60-point games this season scored against them. But the most damning piece of evidence is that this wasn't against good opponents. In fact, their opponents collectively went 57 for 65, with some of their most embarrassing losses coming against Rutgers, who was a 2-10 team, and getting blown out at home against a not even particularly good SIU team, which was once again an FCS team, and of course, losing by 56 points to Army, who had finished with this losing record this season, which is why they were able to nudge out Akron.
How the fuck you let Army do this to y'all when them niggas running straight option for real? Now the problem with a team like Army though, because I'm not gonna say these niggas won't win, or Navy. If you niggas don't stop that option, it will beat the shit out of you. But if you stop them early, get a lead on them, they're losing. Because they gotta throw the ball. They can't throw the ball. But if you are in a close competitive game with them in the 3rd and 4th quarter, you might lose. Because what the hell are you doing letting them stay in this game? But once you get them to the point to, like, if they down 28-0, or what, I know 28-0 is crazy. If they down 21-0, because that's a very realistic thing, they fried.
Who would finish with this losing record this season, which
Army told this past year, oh no, and I'm talking about in general, like just based off of our history of watching college football. Yes, Army's had some seasons where they had solid players and solid records. But for the most part, everything I'm saying about Army is true though.
Is why they were able to nudge out Akron for the worst college team of all time and this year, despite beating them, because at least Akron had some relatively close games and didn't let a single team score more than 60 points on them. But it also locks in potentially the worst head coaching tenure of all time, as the 3 years for Walt Bell with his time at UMass collectively put up 2 of the worst seasons of all time, and
checks.
Started off the 3rd one before getting canned mid-season.
What his job
in 2021.
Get it! It's Roberson on the handoff, and they kept him out.
Walt Bell.